Gig takes a lot of energy. You expend the same amount of energy in 1 hour that most people do in an 8-hour day at work. Which is fine if you're just doing the gig. If you have an 8-hour day or a 12-hour day to do before the gig and then you got to do the gig, it'll wear you out real quick. And then you're not eating well, you don't have any money, you're not sleeping because you're in the van going to the next place. You do that for 3 months, you're a shell of a person by the end of it.
Now this is something I want to touch on because you told me once you'd gained experience doing this kind of grind, the record company was putting you in a position where you could mentor younger bands on how to cope with that.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that?
Discipline. I was lucky because, as you know, I was raised basically in the backstage of theatres with all the actors, and all they talked about was craft and discipline and work ethic, and the show must go on and all that stuff. So that was my work ethic. And I'm not a saint, but for the most part, I'd play in any condition.
How'd you keep your voice working for a start?
The voice is the hardest part. The voice was the main thing that the labels wanted. That they used to say, go on tour with Sick Puppies, and they tell the lead singer, go and talk to Shim and hang out with Shim and just talk to Shim, because for some reason he can keep going. And that was all they wanted. That's why they don't give it. Not like he's really cool. It's like he doesn't stop working, so hang out with him and figure out what the fuck he does. So I remember the first band that came to us was this cool southern rock kind of band, and they drank scotch all night. And I was like, you can't do that. You can do that before a day off. And I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't. It was like, you can't, you won't make it. And you'll sound like shit. And if you do make it, you'll sound like shit. And what's the point? So I told them, like, switch from scotch to vodka soda because it hydrates you while you're drinking it. If you want to get smashed, at least try to sort of 50-50 it, And also, maybe one shot before the gig, not 10. But they're southern boys. You can't tell them not to drink, so you have to look at. A label will say, don't do this and don't do that. It's like telling your kid, don't touch they're going to go and do it. So I was like, look, here are the tricks of the trade. But then the other thing was proper vocal technique. And proper vocal technique is different for every person. The same as acting technique is different for each actor because their instrument is different.